Blockchain has nothing to do with technology, and I'll tell you why in just a second. My name is Julian, and I'm the founder of Masma. It is my mission and Masma's mission to make Web3 as simple as using PayPal. So, before we get into the concept of why blockchain has nothing to do with technology, is to really understand that as more of a philosophical or um, evolution of humanity and the way that we as humans utilize tools to remove trust. So, this first starts with understanding the concept that blockchains are another form of accounting, but also something that we call a triple entry ledger system. So, then the question there lies in what is the first single entry ledger system? And it really starts 5,000 years ago with a group of people called the Sumerians. They invented something um, in their time called the base 60 system, which was, I guess, their form of technology or tool. This technology, though, is actually or led to the invention of time that we use today to measure 60 minutes. But that also enabled the Sumerians to understand the concept of time and then enabled them to understand the concept of money. The concept of money enabled them to now understand the concept of ownership, right? So the harnessing of these inventions actually set out to create the first steps of humanity, right? It enabled us to go from cavemen to kingdoms, royalty, farmland, agriculture. So, and we see this growth of humanity's step into removing trust and then now creating bigger systems, which um, has its downfalls because the limitations of the single entry ledger system was that the immutability or the level of trust was stuck on rocks, which obviously rocks are not something that, are a safe way of keeping track of your deed to your home or how much money you're owed or um, so on and so on. This led to kingdoms building walls around their civilizations and not trusting other civilizations because we had no insight or clue or ability to facilitate trustless transactions. So now let's speed up a little bit to something more current our time, which is what we know today as accounting. But in the 1500s, a man named Luca Piccoli created something called the second or double entry ledger system, which So now that we see that the blockchain is a omnipresent accounting system, the same way that the Sumerians inventing the base 60 system started to form new conceptualizations of time, money, and ownership, history is repeating itself again, right? With the formation of the blockchain, we're seeing a new form of money, which is being able to be verified, it's trustless, it's omnipresent. We're seeing a new way of ownership as well, right? We're seeing the tokenization of assets. We're seeing NFTs, which is the same thing as the tokenization of an asset, just in a different social acceptable norm. But as you can see, the way that entry ledger system one took 5,000 years for us to move into double entry ledger two for 500 years. We've only now been in the each step has radicalized human evolution in terms of removing a base layer of trust. But with blockchain, we've only been in it for about 20 years. And cryptocurrency in 20 years has already unraveled the fabric of our conceptualized realization of how money should act and how ownership should act. So, um, that is basically why blockchain is going to take over the world. And yeah. So, a quote that I would like to leave with you that conceptualizes the importance of what you're learning today from George Wilhelm is that the only thing that we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. And that is why I've made it my sole mission to building Masma to help the millions of people on board into Web3 in the easiest and most familiar way possible. And I hope this episode has brought you some value. My name is Julian, and look forward to seeing you in the next post. Thank you so much for listening.